be leaving soon. I've already got the big pack out on the bike already, and I'll be heading towards, I think I was calling it Fort Dodge last night in my video. It's it's Dodge City, and famous western town. So that's where I'm staying tonight, and I've got 2 stops today. I'm going to do the Harry Truman House again. I think last night I was calling it the Theodore Roosevelt House. It's the Harry Truman House. And then I'm going to go to Joe's Barbecue. I did contact some of the KC chapter people, and they put it up on their Facebook page and stuff like that I'm coming through and would like to join them for lunch. So hopefully I'll have a few people turn up. So that's where I'm at. I'm just about ready to get on the bike. I'm just trying to wake up a little bit more. There's no continental breakfast here, but there's a McDonald's right down the street. I'm trying to stay away from fast food and stuff like that for this trip. I wanted to try to keep them mom and pop type places. But with breakfast, usually I've got a place I want to get to, so I'm even early. I don't know where restaurants are all the time, so I'm just going with what I have available to me that I know is going to be open and ready to go. Just like me. Let's go. Okay, I'm just outside Cameron, Missouri. I'm about ready to jump on I-35 heading to Kansas. And I just stopped off at a Shell station here, picked up my shot glass. I gotta have one for Missouri. Oh man, I can't believe how green the grass is. Look at all that green grass over there. When I left Wisconsin, grass was turning green. Trees haven't started budding or anything like that. And I noticed yesterday when I got down into kind of the middle of Illinois, I could see buds on trees. The very tips of the trees were green and stuff like that. Around here, I mean, they got trees that are gone to flower and started to bloom and stuff like that. So it's quite a different weather pattern down here. But it was a cold morning this morning. I mean, I'm still kind of cold and shaky a little bit. Got the shivers. But should warm up today. It's supposed to get up to around 70, I think. Haven't been able to take a whole lot of pictures because, well, there's just not a whole lot to take pictures of. I saw like 2 deer back up US 36, and it was kind of funny because the deer were just off the road, and they just kind of watched me drive by, and then once I went by, they crossed the road. It's kind of like a couple of little kids, learning to cross the street. I thought it was kind of funny. But they were big doe, too. Holy cow, they were big doe. I don't know what type of deer it was, but they were big. I know that. All right, I got to get back on the road. As I was coming into Cameron, back down the road a bit, I saw 2 billboards. One was for the Walter Cronkite Memorial and the J.C. Penney Museum. No, I don't think so. I'm not going. Alright, I gotta get back on the road. Okay, so I got to the Truman House just a little bit early. They still got about 15 minutes before they open up. Um, so I just came back down the street a little bit to a little gas station. I was hoping just to grab a soda or a cup of coffee or something this morning, and apparently the person that was supposed to open the store never showed up. So I could go down the street a little bit farther. There was another gas station down there, but just haven't done it yet. I don't know if I will. Alright. Gotta just sit and wait. Alright, so I didn't research this very well when I was planning this trip. I showed up at the Truman House. I thought you'd just go inside, pay someone to walk around the house, but apparently you gotta come here to the visitor center on Main Street. It's about 5 blocks or so from the actual house. You gotta go in there and set up a tour time and everything. I'm still going to go in the visitor center. I'm hoping I can get a tour in today. I'm not sure if I can. I do have a little time to play with, but yeah, let's see what's inside. Okay, so I just got done in the visitor center. I got my ticket to see the house. The tour doesn't start until 10 o'clock, so I got probably close to half an hour to waste. He was talking about some other stuff that they had going on. They got the National World War I Memorial, that's downtown. The President's Library, the Truman Farm, which he says is closed. There was a bunch of other stuff. They got actually like 5 or 6 different stamps in there for the passport books. But I'm just doing the Truman home, so that's the only one I stamped. Ooh. Sorry, doesn't impress me. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hang around, maybe go get a soda or a cup of coffee somewhere, and wait until 10 o'clock for my tour. That was a pretty cool tour of the house. I was expecting a lot of stuff about his presidency and stuff like that. This was the house where he went to get away from it all. So yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of presidential stuff going on here. I mean, they did a little bit, but not a whole lot. Yeah, it was his sanctuary away from it all. There is a yellow house across the street here that was owned by part of the family, and you can actually just walk right in and walk around, and I might just do that. Sorry I couldn't take any pictures or video of the tour. I asked the tour guide and he said no, they don't allow it, so I couldn't take any video or pictures in there, but it's kept just the way it was when they were living there, and it's quite amazing to look at. All the old kitchen equipment is in there, everything. I mean, you can see where the carpets were worn going up the stairs. You can see little things that they would do. That's all right. Thanks for the tour. That was great. Sorry, that was our tour ranger, but I'm going to visit the house across the street.
So this is Kevin. He was with the what chapter are you guys?
Kansas
City.
VRA.
Okay. And he was nice enough to join me for lunch here. I wanted to go to that Joe's Kansas City barbecue, which is maybe what, a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
They were closed on Sundays. Nobody really realized it until it was too late. But we ended up here at Rosedale barbecue. Not too bad, but I hate to say it, but I like my barbecue better. All right, I'm stuffed, and I don't know if my bike's going to hold my weight now, but I got to get back on the road. Thanks for having lunch.
You bet. Glad I could meet you.
Oh, holy crap. I'm about, probably about 2 hours away from my hotel. And, God, I just had to stop. The wind has just been atrocious. I haven't been doing a whole lot of recording because I'm afraid that my camera's going to get ripped out of my hand. And I took the GoPro off because the wind was grabbing that and twisting my helmet and stuff like that. I just couldn't drive with it on. I looked at the forecast on my last stop, and we're getting winds over 20 miles an hour. There's actually a wind advisory going on. Yeah, it's I'm just kind of huddled behind some trees right here. That's hopefully why you're not getting too much wind noise. Oh. So yeah, sorry I'm not doing a whole lot of pictures and stuff like that, but I just can't. What a day. I was just getting myself ready to leave this little rest stop. I dropped my helmet on the ground. Now I got scratches all up and down the face shield. That'll be annoying. Okay, time to go. Oh, what a day. Oh. All right, so let's recap. When I went to the Truman House and I had the tour and everything, I could not take pictures inside the house. They just wouldn't allow it. I asked, they said no. So that's why I had no pictures of that. But it's actually pretty cool that the way that they're leaving the house is so original that Bess and Harry's their coat and their hat, or Harry's hat, they're still hanging on the hooks by the back door, like they're gonna, put them on and go somewhere. So it's quite amazing that that they're not refurbishing anything and making it look new and more presidential or anything. They're keeping it just as they lived in the house. One of the things that they had lights on the walls, little sconce lighting, and they were a pull string on and off. You know, it wasn't a flip switch. So, but right by the pull string, you could really see it in the kitchen. The wallpaper is worn from their knuckles and their hands always hitting the wall. It actually wore away the wallpaper. So that's quite amazing. That, I mean, they're not even going to fix that. You know, they're keeping it original as is. Another thing that I saw once we got to the front, the very bottom step has a little worn hole in it, to where you could actually go down to the wood. You could actually see the wood through the hole. Again, they're not fixing it. They're leaving it as is. It's really quite amazing on what they're doing and how they're keeping it. But you know, it's just one of those things that you know, the way they lived. You know, he was fine being president. He liked it, but he didn't like. He actually, I think there was something written down on somewhere. I can't remember if it was in the visitor center or that yellow house that was across the street. But actually, I think it was the video that I watched at the visitor center. He actually referenced the White House as the White Prison. He did not like being in the White House. He always wanted to be home. And you know, if you think about it, the time frame of that era, you know, he would go out for daily walks out of his house. You know, even when he was president. You know, people would pass him on the street and shake his hand, say hi. You know, can you imagine a president nowadays doing that? There was no Secret Service back then. Secret Service didn't come in until after JFK was killed. So it was like, you know, that just amazes me on, you know, how nonchalantly he led his life. I mean, he didn't talk about his presidency at all, to the point where his own grandson found out about it in his first grade elementary class. And he actually had to go up and ask his mom, you know, Mommy, was Grandpa president? Yeah. You know, he never really flaunted the fact that he was president or anything. You know, he just lived his life the way he always did. Okay, so anyway, got out of the Truman House. Went down to the Truman Library, but that was closed. That didn't open until 12 o'clock on Sunday. So I couldn't get in. I did take a picture of the outside of the house, or the library. So at least I did that. Then after that, I was going to get over to Joe's Barbecue, meet up with some VRA members, and lo and behold, Joe's was closed on Sunday. And just as I pulled up, you know, I pull out my phone to see if I got any notifications about anybody else coming. And I started reading things of, oh no, you know, it just dawned on us, or we just figured out that Joe's is closed on Sunday. I was getting those type of messages. So luckily though, Kevin, this was the first time I think I met him, and he came to my rescue. He pulls up, he's in his car, saying that he's got problems with his bike and everything like that. He goes, but I couldn't leave you stranded out here with, you know, not knowing where to go or what to do. But basically, we just went down the street and around the corner to another barbecue place, and it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't my barbecue. I like my barbecue, I really do. And I mean, but it was good. You know, I actually thought the chicken was going to be smoked, and it really wasn't. It was just more or less deep fried. Either that, or else it was so lightly smoked that you really couldn't even tell. The ribs were overly cooked. Not that to the bad point, you know, the meat hadn't turned complete mush, but it was fall off the bone, not, you know, bite through clean off the bone. So anyway, we parted our ways after having a good lunch, and we talked a lot about, the trip I did out to Oregon and things that are going on with chapters and, just stuff like that, family and friends and stuff. But we finished our lunch and parted ways. And then shortly after, it could have been that while I was in the city, but the winds just got ridiculous. And maybe it's because I was in the city and with all the houses and trees, I just never noticed, I was just going over the top of everything. But once I got out on the highways, oh my God. It started out, I thought it started out kind of gentle, just a breezy day. But next thing I know, I'm, leaning the bike against the wind to keep from getting blown over. And I was like that for like 6 hours. Technically the actual drive time would have only been about, I think it was like 4.5 or 5. But I stopped a couple of times for gas, but I just had to stop and get out of the wind. I was getting physically exhausted from fighting the wind all the time. I kept on looking down at my GPS in front of me, thinking, God, that had been about 10 miles, and it was like 2. And it was just wearing on me. It was like, all right, I gotta get off the road. I gotta calm down, relax, and everything. So yeah, that's why I tried to get a few videos and snapshots here and there. A couple of the ones that I got, a couple of the pictures that I got, I actually just pulled over to the side of the road and stopped and took the picture that way. Normally, I just held the camera in one hand, and I can, I'll see the viewfinder, and I can just, click a picture or hold it steady enough to get some video. I was afraid to do that because I thought that the wind would actually pull the camera out of my hand, and that's $1,000 camera. I'm not risking that. So yeah, it was an interesting day to say the least. But I made it here, and this is actually a really nice room for $44. This is a bed, good size. I got a king bed. Literally the last hotel I was at, I paid 50 something, 53 I think it was, and the room was maybe half this size, and it was, it was nothing special at all. This is actually a really nice room. And I am right downtown in Dodge City. So there's, the Boot Hill Museum just down the road, and a bunch of stuff for Wyatt Earp. Yeah, it's it's a wild country town. I did have a incident. I think it was like the last stop I did. I was just getting gas. I just needed a break from the wind, and so I turned that into about a good 20 to 30 minute break. And I had the bike actually parked out in the back of the gas station, because all the parking around the building was used up. But I parked it by some trees just to kind of keep it out of the wind and whatnot. And I go inside and I buy a candy bar and a soda, and I come back out and I'm just sitting on the curbing that's around the building, and all of a sudden another bike pulls up, a little VMAX. The guy pulls up and gets off, and he pops the back of the seat up and takes the gas cap off, fills up and everything. And I'm talking to him a little bit, and he wanted to know where I was from, and I said Wisconsin. And I go, yeah, it's nice to know that I'm not the only idiot out driving in this wind. And he's like, the wind doesn't bother me. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, yeah, but where are you going? Where are you from? Are you dealing with 4 or 5 hours of the wind, or are you going from the road that's 10 miles down and you're going to the road that's only 5 miles that way? exactly where you're going. If that's the case, yeah, I have no problem with the wind. When you're having to fight it for so long, it just drains you. So he gave me that smart ass response, and that kind of just killed the conversation right there. It's like, all right, if you're going to be a dick, then I won't talk to you. He put his gas cap back on and drove off. So yeah, that was the the day for me. Well, tomorrow, I think I actually have a national park tomorrow. Technically, the Harry Truman House was a historical place, and yeah, tomorrow I'm doing the Great Sand Dune of Colorado. So the Great Sand Dune National Park. That's tomorrow. And I believe that's it. Let me look real quick. I tell you though, I love my friends. I love the VRA. I love my family. They're constantly liking and chatting about my pictures and stuff that I put up on Facebook and stuff. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I really do. I love listening to your comments, and it's nice to know that you guys are, interested in what I'm doing, and you're worried about my well-being and stuff. So I really do appreciate it. Yeah, my first stop isn't until the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve. So, yep, that's. I have noticed that when I was going down, I think it's U.S. Highway 50. On the side of the road, at a lot of places, you can just see sand, drifted sand all over the place. And, I mean, there are times where it got pretty thick and heavy. I mean, not that it was coming up on the road or anything, but I'm sitting there looking at it going, this could be evidence that was left over from the Dust Bowl, years and years ago. So, yeah, only one stop tomorrow, Great Sand Dune, and that's actually going to be kind of late in the afternoon, and I'm just going to be booking it all the way there. Let's see, it should take me, well, it says 6 hours, so it's probably actually going to take me closer to about 8 or 9. So yeah, it'll be a long haul. 358 miles. Oh, that reminds me. Let me run out to the bike and get my mileage. Yesterday I did 480.2 miles. I don't think I told you guys that. So let me go outside and check the bike, and I'll see what the mileage is today. Okay, so yesterday I had the 480.2 miles. Today I ended with 969 miles. So I did a total today of 488.8 miles. All right. See you guys tomorrow.